So I made that choice to do that. And then when you see that moment of me leading at the line, and I took third by 0.04 seconds, and I was under the Olympic standard in that race by 0.21 seconds. And so it was like those choices of like deciding to make my own luck and getting that grant and deciding to go all in and having that opportunity, it all got distilled into that fraction of a second. And it was really that allowed my entire career to emerge from there. And so, everything that we see after that, I've always felt like is because I was given that opportunity and that I got to go make the most of it. The other day, I was back in my hometown, Santa Rosa, and I went and spoke to a couple of local high school teams. And whenever I speak, we always talk about the trials of 2012, like that's my story. And I think most people would assume that's kind of the best moment of my career, but one of the girls asked, what was your favorite race of your entire career? And I was like, oh, it wasn't 2012 actually. It was 2014, the US Championships, that 10,000 meter race. Because I was living in Sacramento and I was training in Hornet Stadium and I was putting in miles after miles after miles on the parkway every day. And so to have the national championships come here and feel like a home race, when I watch that video clip, I'm not even paying attention to what I'm doing on the track. I see all the people in the stands, the way they're cheering, I hear that noise again. Because the way that race unfolded, I did so much leading. And Jordan Massey was sitting on me the entire race. And I could even hear her coach at times telling her, not yet, not yet. I just knew. I'm waiting for her to pounce. And finally, with 200 meters to go, after 25 laps, I hear her coach say, no! And I'm like, oh no! So she goes around me, and we come up off the final turn, and she's put this little gap on me, and then I could hear that noise from the crowd. It was like my crowd, it's my hometown race. It was for all of my people, it was you guys, it was this community in the stands, and I was just like, not tonight, this is my race. And she went a little bit wide, and I was able to see through the inside lane that I